When it comes to buying effects pedals, a boost pedal usually isn't that high up on a guitar player's priority list because there are so many other cool gadgets that we want on our pedal boards. But in this video, we're going to check out the new Teisco Boost and see why this little booster is a fantastic tone shaping partner for your pedal board. If the name Teisco rings a bell, you may have heard of these from their 60s and 70s guitars. These sort of pawn shop, little sort of old school vintage gems come up on eBay and other resale sites all the time for not a great deal of money. So Teisco were originally formed in 1948 in Japan. They cut their teeth as a guitar manufacturer and they've got plenty of really cool sort of out there guitar designs which you can pick up, like I said, for not a lot of money. Fast forward to the modern day and Teisco are back with a bunch of cool pedals. So the Boost does what it says on the tin. It doesn't have a fancy name, it's just called the Teisco Boost. So you get exactly what it tells you it's going to give you. Just before we dig into the specs of this thing and hear what it sounds like, I do have to say I'm not being paid for this video, but my friends at Teisco did provide me with this pedal. So the Teisco Boost is a vintage preamp style boost pedal. It's based around an FET style transistor or a FET transistor. If you know the difference between different clipping transistors, a FET transistor will give you a smoother, more organic clipping tone. So that means it's great to pair with other gain stages such as other pedals or into the front of a valve amplifier. So the pedal itself is pretty simple. It just has two very simple knobs and two small switches. So we've got the level switch here. This is the important boost level. Now this pedal can give you up to 30 dB of boost, so it's quite a lot of clean boost there to get any amp going from super clean to edge of breakup tones and beyond. We've got a gain level here. Now this doesn't add drive to the signal that comes out of the pedal, but what this does is an input gain. So the harder you push this, the more the input signal drives, which then means you can translate that to a slightly more overdriven output sound. That's really useful if you're using it to push a tube amp just over the edge as well. You can run this at 9 or 24 volts. So if you want extra headroom, you can flip that to the 24 volt setting, but I'm just going to use it on 9 today. We've also got a 3-position mini toggle switch here for the EQ shaping. So at the top we've got normal, which is fairly flat, but it's got a bit of a bass cut. We've got treble, which trims the bass off and boosts the highs, so you can get those classic treble booster tones. And then flat, which is a full range, as flat as Teisco can get it boosts. So that boosts all your lows and all your highs. The pedal itself is built like a tank. It's pretty solid. It's got a reinforced zinc enclosure, which Teisco say is pretty robust. And also the bottom is actually textured. So this is really cool if you're putting this on a pedal board, because Teisco are actually saying that this textured underside actually adds to the ability for the Velcro to stick. So this is pretty unlikely to fall off your pedal board as well. So let's plug this thing in now and see just how useful a boost pedal can be to your guitar tone. So I've got the Tesico Boost now plugged into the Blackstar HT20 Mark II, which is running out via the 2-Notes Torpedo Captor X. So there's no mic in the room today, just hearing this through an IR of a Bassman style cab. I'm using my PRS S2 Studio for this as well. So we're going to start on the clean tone. So here's how the amp sounds without the boost switched on. So I'm going to start by actually dialing the gain on the pedal all the way down to 0, and I've got the level on halfway. So what we're going to hear when I turn the pedal on is a boost in volume, because I'm actually adding output level here, but I'm not adding any input gain. So while this is on 0, this is just going to act as a clean boost. As I increase the gain, we're going to be adding input gain, which then is going to turn this into a slightly more overdriven sound. So I've got this on the normal EQ setting. So I'm just going to start by playing completely clean again. Switch this on so you can hear the initial volume boost, and then I'm going to slowly increase the gain so you can hear the input gain range. So you can see increasing that gain there does actually add quite a lot of drive to it. You can use this as an overdrive. Like I said, I'm going into the clean channel of the amp there. So I'm going to do the same again now on the treble booster setting. So from the pedal in the off position, we're going to hear an increase now in the brightness of the pedal. And in the flat setting, what we're going to hear now is everything boosted. So this is going to bring up the lows and the highs. So here's the pedal off. So in some of those more extreme gain settings on the flat mode, obviously we're going to get more of that low end presence because it's boosting the entire frequency spectrum. These single coils in this PRS are quite bottom heavy, so obviously we did boost some of the lows a bit too much there, but if you're using some quite bright pickups, that would be great. You just have to be careful how you dial that one in. So I've reset the pedal now, so the gain is on 0 and we're back on the normal mode, and I've gone now to the overdrive channel of the amp. So the pedal is currently switched off, so here's how the overdrive channel sounds without the pedal engaged. So now we're going to explore the effects of a boost pedal as a tone shaper and an additional gain stage for an already driven amp. So I'm not using a ton of gain there, that's sort of a moderate crunchy kind of drive tone. So using the normal setting, I'm going to play a bit more, I'm going to engage the pedal, and we're going to hear the volume boost, and then I'm going to add some input gain to that as well. So I went to some pretty extreme settings there, even using the level there to add some additional push. Now that's one thing you can do with a boost pedal that's really useful, is you can add more level to hit the front end of the amp, which gives you more preamp saturation. So I'm going to do the same thing now with the treble booster. So I'm just going to play from the level in the midnight position and the gain on 0. Start off by adding some gain, and we'll play back with the level as well. So again, we can get some pretty cool, very sort of typical vintagey treble booster type sounds there. The final one to explore now is the flat mode. So once again, level back at midnight, gain back at 0. So even though that flat setting does bring out some overly boomy low end sounds in the room, again, that's very dependent on the amp you're using, the guitar you're using, and the settings you've got the amp set to as well. Like I said, in this instance, that does bring a little bit too much low end bloom into things, but if you're using something really bright, like a set of Strat single coils, that would be a very nice balance. So you can really see there how something as simple as this boost pedal can really open up the sound of an amp. If you've got a single channel amp, for instance, this could act as an additional channel, as a lead boost, as an extra gain stage, whatever you want to call it. If you're using this with another overdrive pedal, you can boost into that overdrive to give you more gain, or you can boost out of that overdrive by putting this after the current overdrive pedal to give you more volume. There's a ton of different things you can do with a boost pedal, and I think they're sort of one of those pedals that a lot of guitar players need to explore as a utility idea. So check out the Teisco Boost. I think this is a really cool vintagey preamp sounding pedal. It's definitely got a lot of those classic boost settings. The treble boost is especially fun. You can kind of get into that Brian May sort of ballpark with that tone. That's a lot of fun there if you're into those classic 70s big rock riffs. But yeah, I think a boost is definitely underrated as a tone shaper. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments how you think the Teisco Boost sounds, and what are your opinions on using boosts anywhere in your chain to shape the sound of either your amp or your other pedals as well. Love to hear what you guys think, and while you're down there, let me know. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks so much for watching.